You're watching Less Than Epic's coverage of the Overwatch League. Enjoy the show.
Hello everyone and welcome to Less Than Epic Stage 4 coverage of Overwatch League's inaugural season. All of us at LTE have thoroughly enjoyed this first season and hope that you guys have too. I personally believe that this league is much closer in terms of skill than the records would have us believe. The more we watch these teams play, the closer they get in skill and the more fun the matches become. Let's kick off our Stage 4 power rankings. Shockingly, at number 12 are the Dallas Fuel. No, we aren't joking this time. Some people may be thinking that it's not fair to have a team with 0 wins above a team with 6 wins. To be honest, neither of those stats are impressive. And some may point to the fact that Dallas beat Shanghai in the first day of Stage 3. But we also think about this. While Dallas was getting 4-0'd by higher ranked teams, Shanghai was constantly taking 1 to 2 maps off of very strong contenders like Boston, London, and New York. In at number 11 are the Shanghai Dragons. It felt good, and I mean really good, to finally move this team off of the number 12 spot. They have a chance to prove that they deserve this place as they take on Dallas this week. Radid chose to leave these guys at 12, but if Shanghai can pull off their first win, I think he would even have to move them up to 11. It isn't until week 4 that we see another favorable matchup for the Dragons, so let's hope that they can end this winless streak this week. Rounding out our bottom 3 are the Florida Mayhem at number 10. Florida is a team that the whole LTE crew was riding high on for the better part of Stage 3. And for good reason. They had suddenly become very competitive and were able to win games and push higher ranked teams to their limits. Hopefully, Florida can continue to test high ranked teams and battle for a few more wins. Coming in at number 9 are the Houston Outlaws. Houston has been trying to battle back into a competitive team and just can't seem to find their way out of the mid-tier teams. They manage to pick up smaller victories here and there, but almost always fail to show up when they can finally prove they've turned the corner. Houston are only 2 games away from being able to nab a playoff berth, so their hopes are still alive. Coming in at number 8 are the San Francisco Shock. The Shock had an amazing Stage 3. They had a stage record of 6-4, above the likes of Seoul, London, and Philly. Their 2 biggest wins were over the teams the Gladiators and the Fusion. The 4 losses, Seoul, Valiant, London, and New York. They had a favorable schedule to not play Boston. If they had, they likely would have been 5-5 in Stage 3, which is still a step in the right direction. Rounding out our top 7 teams are the Seoul Dynasty. This spot on the list is likely where we divide the top and bottom of the league, but the line continues to be blurred every stage. Since losing the number 3 seed in the Stage 2 playoffs, Seoul has not looked like their usual selves. We all know how talented the team is. They hold on to the number 4 playoff spot, but could easily lose it if they underperform in Stage 4 again. In at number 6 are the Philadelphia Fusion. Philly is a tough team to place on this list. They can run very hot or very cold. They can hang with the likes of Boston. They brought Boston to a 5-game affair in Stage 3. And then they can continue to struggle against teams like San Francisco. A little more consistency is needed out of this team, and then they could be in the top 3. When they're firing on all cylinders, they are that good. Our first LA team are the LA Gladiators. The Gladiators are much like the Fusion. They can be very hot and very cold, and are seeking consistency from all of their players. It is also very evident when this team does their homework on a team and when they don't do their homework on a team. The Gladiators barely lost to the likes of New York and the Valiant, and they also beat Dynasty, but they also struggle against teams like San Francisco. In at number 4, the London Spitfire. Considering how poorly this team played in Stage 3, they're lucky to be this high on the list. There was just nothing impressive about what they did in Stage 3. Luckily, London had built up enough of a cushion in Stages 1 and 2, so they still own the number 3 seed at the moment. But another performance like they had in Stage 3, and they could run the risk of dropping out of the playoffs. Our number 3 team are the LA Valiant. The Valiant really revamped their entire roster between Stages 2 and 3, and it showed right out of the gate. If Boston hadn't started to go on a win streak longer than New York had ever endured, then we would have been talking about the Valiant as our popular pick in Stage 3. They went a combined 7-3 in Stage 3. That's a record we're more accustomed to seeing the Spitfire get than the Valiant get. If the Valiant perform just as well in Stage 4, they may be able to snag the number 3 playoff seed. Coming back to number 2 are the Boston Uprising. Well, it was nice while it lasted, but Boston had a short-lived moment at the top of the ranks. Boston still had quite an impressive Stage 3. They went 10-0 while being the only team in Overwatch League to beat London, Seoul, and New York. Mind you, that was also all in one stage. They also continued their win streak. If you don't count the playoff, that streak is still alive at 15. It's crazy. Back in at number 1 are the New York Excelsior. When New York lost to Boston in Stage 3, everyone thought that the tides had finally turned and a new champion was going to stay at number 1. But after New York made quick work of Boston in the stage playoffs in just 3 games, we were all reminded of how dominant New York can be. New York only has to win 2 games to ensure they have a playoff spot. We may see a lot of alternatives from this crew in Stage 4. Well, that wraps up our Stage 4 Week 1 Power Rankings. Let us know down in the comments if you agree or disagree with any of our choices on this list. And make sure to come back tomorrow for our weekly picks. Take care everyone, and I'll see you in the next one.
If you like our coverage of the Overwatch League, let us know by liking and subscribing. And if you didn't, let us know why in the comments below. Maybe we can make it better. Thanks for watching, everyone.